All right, folks. Thank you for being here. We are live. Somebody let me know in the chat how the audio sounds. So we made it. We made it all the way to the end of election season, and we're all still here. We're all still intact. I want to go over a couple of things regarding that. Obviously, this is our post-election podcast here, and we've got several things I wanted. A main topic that I want to discuss. First and foremost, again, if you're just joining us, let me know how the audio sounds. Also, I want to show you. I just want to show you what's been going on. What I think has been going on regarding our markets, and then we're going to dive into the topic of the day. Let me just really quick show you what we've got going on here. Let me make sure I'm presenting the right screen. Give me 1 second here. Stop that one and represent. I apologize. I'm going to have to flip back and forth here. So this is this is the Euro US. This is one of the reasons why I mentioned that anytime you have an election, there's market volatility. Now, some elections don't have worldwide impact, and some of them do. So for my particular way that I trade, I avoid really, really, really impactful news events like the plague. So for those of you who may not be traders, you see these candles here. Well, each one has put your glasses on, Pepper, so you can see the numbers. Each one has a normal range. The average range here is about 50 pips. This one here from yesterday's election, this was 250. So this is over a 3x. So this is why I say that, elections have consequences. Elections have impact. Either have it in your trading plan or avoid it, which I guess is another way of saying have it in your trading plan. Having said that, guys, let me get back to. I'm doing better at this. I am learning StreamYard like a boss here. All right, so volatility we talked about tomorrow. I mean, this is like I don't know how, I don't know why they're getting away with this, but we had the election yesterday. Tomorrow, the U.S. Federal Reserve has a rate announcement. So talk about a 1-2 whammy. I am basically sitting out these markets until this until this uncertainty, and we're going to talk about uncertainty today, has died down. Now, if I were a scalper, if I was in and out every 5 minutes, this volatility would just be like, it would be the best. So, but I don't. One of the things that we talk about in godly trading is how do we fit our trading lifestyle, our trading style into our family. You should never, ever try to adapt your life and your family around your trading. It's always the other way around. You're never gonna be successful if you try to adapt your life to your trading. So I mentioned we've got Federal Reserve tomorrow. You got to just be careful. Bank of England also tomorrow. For those of you who trade stocks, that's not going to be a big deal. But let's jump into the topic of the day. All right, this is our post-election podcast. This is where we are. Take a quick look at where we are, the journey that we've been on, and then what are some opportunities that we may have going forward. One of the things I want to just say, first and foremost, guys, we made it. We made it to the end of the election. Ideally, we won't see any more ads on TV for quite some time. Life can get back in line. That's a big statement. What is normal? Well, we're about to find out. Hopefully, life will get back to whatever normal was before all of this kicked in. So, what are the implications of this election, and how can we apply that to the world? How can we apply that to our country? Or maybe you're not in my country. Maybe you're in a different country. We have somebody here in our trading group, in our Facebook group from Down Under. He is a Kiwi, I believe. If you are, and let me know if Kiwi is considered a pejorative term, and I won't do it. I called a friend of mine from Britain a limey. I'm not sure if he knew that I said that or not. But anyway, try not to do that. What are the implications for the world and for our country? And then what are the implications for the markets? This is where we are. This is This is why we're here. All right. We're here to help fathers develop that other stream of income through trading. How is this election going to affect our family? And most specifically, how is it going to affect our trading? All right. There's always implications to anything. Right. We're going to have Federal Reserve interest rate announcement tomorrow. There are implications there. Even Bank of England having its rate announcement, there are implications there. If you happen to live under the jurisdiction of Bank of England, there are implications. But there's also opportunities. Anytime there's a thing, there's a chance to do something with that thing. Speaking of that, tomorrow night we're having a specific training session on this topic of what now. So we've had this election. We've come through this election cycle. We're all still intact. We all still have our fingers and toes, we believe. What do we, as godly family men, as fathers, as heads of households, what do we do now? What can we do now? Are there any opportunities for us? So we're having this special webinar tomorrow night. Now stick around to the end. I've got a special offer for anybody who happens to want to attend that. Remember, it's a free webinar. It's tomorrow evening at 7 Central. Blessedly, here in the U.S., we have fallen back. We're back on the same time as the rest of the world. We're in standard time, no longer in daylight time. I can't believe that we still change our clocks twice a year. Can you imagine the hubris of the U.S. Congress in 1890 whatever saying, hey, we are going to control time. They are not time lords, though they probably thought they were. So stick around to the end of this webinar. I've got a special offer for you for tomorrow night's free webinar. So here we are at our regular schedule. I rebranded this, guys. You're saying, what happened to what happened to Bible study for traders? It was getting confusing. I had this title and that title, so I'm just putting everything under one umbrella. This is the Godly Trading Podcast. So we are going through the book that I wrote, Trading with Joy. And by the way, if anybody watched the video 4 or 5 weeks ago I put out on discipline, there was a special offer at the end of that. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you now in case you didn't watch that video. You can get the book for free. Just pay the shipping cost, and I'll even sign it for you. You can get a copy of this book for free. Just go to godlytrading.com/discipline. That happened to be the video that I put this special offer at the end of. But we've been going through this fruit of the Spirit. And again, if you are not a Christian, you're not a believer, then you think, well, this is Bible stuff. Hey, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. I don't think even a follower of the Klingon religion would object to any of those, except possibly peace. Ironically, today the topic is peace. Now that the election is over, will we have peace? Ideally, we're going to have peace in our social media feeds and on television. Does anybody still watch television? It seems like all we do these days is scroll on these things, which is fine. You know, one of the amazing opportunities that there is as a father who wants to build a future for his family, I can do it in my spare time off of one of these things. And that's actually, okay, I don't want to get sidetracked. I've been told stay on topic. But I'm not gonna. One of the reasons that I love trading so much is that I say it over and over again. It has such a low bar to entry. And what I mean by that, anyone can trade, as the famous French philosopher Gusteau said in his documentary, Ratatouille. Anyone can cook, anyone can trade, and anyone can trade if they have one of these. That's all you need is one of these. But anyway, are we going to have peace now that this election is over with, right? Peace is one of the fruit of the Spirit. It's one of those targets that we're aiming for. And first things first, what does peace look like? All right. I always say this whenever I'm talking to one of the students about success. And so you as a father, you're wanting to create success for your family, a brighter financial future. Let's first and foremost nail that down. What does success look like for you? Where does it live? So we know when we get there, that kind of thing. So what does peace look like? Well, we kind of imagine that we know what world peace looks like, although we've never seen it, right? It's not just the absence of war, but it's a good start. Is this election going to cause peace in the U.S.? If anybody's been on social media today, you know the answer to that is no. What about peace in the markets? What about peace in our family? And I mean specifically peace in our individual nuclear family that we are in charge of, not your extended family. Even before Trump came on the scene, Thanksgiving was always a challenge, wasn't it? Is Thanksgiving more than just a U.S. holiday? Is it a holiday around the world? I don't know the answer to that. And what does peace look like in your trading? Oh my goodness. Developing peace in your trading is I think one of those flags that we plant off in the distance. When I get to be a successful trader, one of the hallmarks, one of the ways I will know that I am a successful trader is if I'm trading with peace. This is from John 16:33. These things, this is Jesus speaking, by the way. I didn't put it in red because red does not look good with a purple background. These things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. And then he promises us something. And you think, gee, thanks. In the world, you will have tribulation, trouble, struggle. It doesn't say you might. Greek word there, absolutely will. But be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So we are promised trouble, but we're also promised we may have peace in him. So let's bring it down to where we are. All right, this is godly trading. What does peace look like in the market? And can we expect any of it going forward? Well, here's a diagram. Let me embiggen this for everybody. Here's a diagram of 2019 leading into 2020. Well, that bit there in green is just normal everyday life with the president. You know, it was Trump, but it didn't really matter. Just normal everyday life going on like everyone thought it should. And that red, that's COVID. Now, were there opportunities to make money there? Absolutely. Were you prepared for that because your trading plan said, hey, the world is going to shut down, so let's short the heck out of every market? Probably not. Peace in the market is most synonymous with predictability, stability, right? So today the markets are up everywhere. Is that because Wall Street loves Trump? No. Wall Street loves predictability. Wall Street wants to know, if I do this thing today, next week my plan is going to work out because the world is semi-stable. Now that the election is over with, first thing we're going to find is peace in the markets, just for the very fact that A, the election's over with, and they know what's going to happen. And B, most importantly, not only do they know who's going to be president, but they kind of have an idea of what the markets are going to look like under that president because he's been there before. If it had been Joe Biden, and Joe Biden had been reelected, the markets would still have been up because the markets would say, hey, the last 4 years have been like this, so probably the next 4 years are going to be something similar to this, and we can plan around that. So peace in the markets is predictability and stability. Does this peace in the market, does it present any opportunities for you? Does it change how or what you trade? Well, I mentioned on this slide, there were opportunities to trade here during the beginnings of COVID, but only if you were flexible and honestly, only if you had a plan in place. What happens if the markets go nuts? So this is a good opportunity now to sit down and say, okay, the markets are going to be a little, for the next couple of days, the markets are going to be off. And you saw that, my goodness. The volatility, the amount of movement in just that one. Now, granted, it's the most traded instrument in the world, the Euro US, but it's almost four times the amount. But once that settles down, there's an opportunity here to say, okay, going forward, I kind of know what it's going to look like. How can I set myself up for that? How can I change what I'm doing or reinforce what I'm doing based on what I kind of think is going to happen? The markets are going to stabilize, probably going to just continue their slow upward climb. So peace for your trading is going to be implementing a plan that is based on stability and going forward. Now, for me personally, that means, hey, I'm a trend trader. That means finding opportunities to get into a trend. If I was a reversal trader, COVID was great, but I'm not, and it wasn't. What does peace look like in your family? That one is going to be hard for everybody to answer. It's for you to answer. Again, this is why we are here. We here at Godly Trading are here to support fathers and I keep using the word fathers, and I want to lump everybody into the category of father. If you are a single mom, forgive me, I'm calling you a father, right? If you are a 24-year-old with 3 roommates, and it's your job to do the grocery shopping, right? If you are the head of your family, I'm just going to call you a father. Just go ahead and assume that I'm misgendering you. I don't care. I'm calling you a father. So as a father, we here at Godly Trading are here to support you and help you walk day by day as you bear the weight. Does anybody ever feel like the weight of not even the world, the weight of your family, whatever family means to you, is on your shoulders? Should probably do that. If so, and that's the best way for me to explain who I'm talking to. If you've ever felt like it was all on you, then that's why we're here. We're here to support you. So what does peace look like in that group of people for whom you are responsible? That is going to be an ongoing day-by-day discussion. And again, that's why we are here. What does peace look like in your trading? We mentioned it before. First and foremost, peace starts with, let me tailor my trading to my life, my job, my family, probably in reverse order. My family, my job, my life. Let me do that first and foremost. Because here's something that we don't talk about a lot. How does your trading affect your family? Oh my goodness. You've probably heard the story of me talking about when I was driving to work in a cloud of gloom and doom. And I was just miserable. And I haven't even started trading for the day. And that's when God stepped in and said, hey, aren't you tired of feeling like this? And you know good and well that if I was heading to work feeling miserable for no reason, no concrete reason, right? Nothing had happened that day. Then you know good and well that I came home from work having bad days. And that cloud followed me around like the cartoon character Pigpen with a cloud of dust. And you just know good and well that my trading had a very definite and very negative impact on my family. And this is one of the main reasons we are seeking peace in our trading, so that we can have this as, hey, family's sitting around watching dad trade and it's holding hands and singing Kumbaya. I mean, I'm sure it's not always going to be rainbows and unicorns, but this is what we're after. This is one of those flags on that hill in the distance that says, when I get there, that's the kind of trader I want to be. That's the kind of father I want to be. That's the kind of husband I want to be. That's the kind of person I want to be. I am a Christian first and foremost. I am also a trader. And those two things go together. They reinforce one another. They inform how I live my life day by day, moment by moment, as each other. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. So if I am being impatient in my trading, if I'm being miserable in my trading, if I'm being ungodly in my trading, how much of a bleed over effect is that going to have in the rest of my life? If someone says, well, he says he's a Christian. He says he's trying to be a godly person. He's trying to be a good father. But I've seen how he acts when he's in front of his computer going clickety-clickety with his trades. And those two guys are different, right? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Although I actually don't know if Dr. Jekyll was a nice person or not. We just know Mr. Hyde wasn't, right? Here's something interesting about this concept of having peace in our families, peace in our life, peace in our trading, doing what we can to create a bubble of peace around us while the rest of the world might go mad. Jesus, again, speaking here in John 14:27, peace I leave with you, right? He leaves it. My peace I give to you, not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled. We've probably all heard that part of a verse. Neither let it be afraid. He talks about peace like it's this tangible thing. Like, I wish I had a tangible thing in front of me, right? Like, he talks about peace like you could reach out and touch it. That's what's amazing to me. When he says, my peace I'm leaving with you, it's almost like he says, hey, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, I'm going to give you 5 pounds a piece as I leave out of here, or 30 gallons a piece as I leave out of here. We're going to get to next week. One of the amazing is almost not even, the English language is insufficient to adequately express just how amazing this peace, once you have it, is. Because on the one hand, peace can be fragile. You've ever had those moments of just absolute joy, and then a dog barks or whatever happens, and people talk about that your peace was shattered? But on the other hand, once you have this peace is the battery that runs the force field around you that protects itself. It's an amazing thing. We're going to get into that next week. But I just love this concept here when he says, I'm leaving you 5 pounds of peace of mine. Don't worry. I've overcome the world. So, yeah, we have some closure to the craziness of the last, I would say, 9 months, or however long it's been. We do have some closure. We have an expectation that in the markets, things are going to calm down. We have an expectation that on social media, things are going to just continue on to be crazy. But as godly traders, as godly family men, it's our job to recognize, hey, God has a plan for peace for me and my family. I can't control the world. I can't control my country. I can't control the markets. But I can control how I behave every day in those markets and how that affects my family around me. Again, we've got this training tomorrow night at 7 Central. Godlyfamilyman.com. Go there. It's a free webinar. Sign up for it. And we're going to talk about some opportunities, because like I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, of the podcast here, anytime a thing happens, there's always an opportunity around that thing. So now that the election is over, what are some specific tangible opportunities that we can seize to help our families, to fulfill, and I'm gonna say it every single episode, fulfill the command from Proverbs. It says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Have you been working on your grandchildren's inheritance this week? And if you have been, how has that been going? Has that been a peaceful endeavor or not? I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast here that we have a special offer for anybody who does attend. So if you happen to attend, go to godlyfamilyman.com. There's instructions there for a way to get a free month of our premium membership program, Godly Trading Pro, where you have the one-on-one call with me. The training sessions, guys, the 12-week training sessions start Sunday night, Sunday evening. The time is now. If you're going to jump in and be part of this original class, the time is now. We've got space for 5 more people, something like that. Hey, I mean, we can make shoehorn some people in, but you can get the entire first third of the training for free just by following the instructions that you're going to find when you go to godlyfamilyman.com. It's very, very simple. It won't cost you a thing. It's about 4 clicks of your mouse, and you don't even think about it for a month. But go to godlyfamilyman.com, sign up for the webinar. There'll be instructions there. You get a free month. You can dive in with us starting Sunday evening. Next week, we're going to continue on this idea of how do we build peace as a protective force field around ourselves and around our trades, our trading, but most importantly, around our families. How can we protect our families from the nutty world we've just come through? Oh my goodness, what have we come through? This last year, we've just come through it, and what can we do to keep that from affecting our families going forward? So that's next week. We're going to be here every single week at 4 o'clock Central. Until then, guys, thank you for being here, and I will see you all next week. Don't forget, sign up.